Hi everyone, let's talk about Dead Men Tell No Tales, which again, thanks to Tony Brum for using his executive vote to choose Dead Men Tell No Tales, because who knows when I would have gotten to do the video for this. And yeah, it gave us a chance to play it again, and it's been, I didn't check when, but it's been a long time since we played this. It came out a couple of years ago, I think. But yeah, it's been great to go back. It's one of those where I knew that we really liked it, but it really reminded me getting it out. It's great where any kind of tile-laying game where you are kind of building a picture of the game that you played, whether it's cooperative or competitive. You're building this doomed ship. No matter how well you're doing, you can kind of see your ultimate fate building up behind you. Like in the playthrough game, it seemed like I was on top of things in the fire department. But yeah, a few more cards and we would have seen some serious explosions. But turns out it didn't matter because the deckhands are everywhere. It can go depending on the way the tokens and the cards come out. Like in this, a lot of trapdoors came out and a lot of trapdoor cards came out. So yeah, that was really the thing to focus on. That's the thing I should have been doing. Other times, maybe it's skeletons everywhere and you're going to have to keep doing a lot of fighting. You will get tokens to do that. Like you can end up with a lot of cutlasses, so maybe you don't have to worry about doing the battle strength action anymore. If you can get if you can get 4 cutlasses, your attack strength's permanently +4, which will be great when it comes to fighting the guards, especially if you can get the sword for the extra +1. The combat, yeah, it is dice based, but it's quite nice how it's done. It's not you take fatigue for failing, and you're taking fatigue for running into rooms that are very dangerous, and maybe you can't even go to those anymore because your fatigue's so high. If it gets to all the way around, then your character dies and you have to draw a new one. So it gives you a second chance like that, but up until then, if you're getting into the sections where you can't even move to a room that's got a 2 dice and everyone has to scramble around trying to lower the fire for you, you're in real trouble. But sometimes you have to put yourself in that position when you've got the treasure token because you need to get it out. But yeah, I really like it. The production of it's really nice as well. The nice pirate meeples, and as I mentioned, the dice are really nice. The art and the ship that you're building is nice. The deckhands are a lovely little touch. The rulebook's good. I'll say that it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit dense, very text heavy. It's a little hard to find the information that you want just at a glance. But there are some great player aids on Board Game Geek that'll just just for when we were reminding ourselves of the game, that it's nice to have just a bullet pointed list of what the icons mean and things like that. That's just a tiny little thing. But overall, I really enjoy the game. It's very different game to game, and it has a different feel where it is, the popular action point system in cooperative games, but it does have a different feel to something like Pandemic. Like rather than I'm not very good at doing it, I'll say, but it's got a different feeling that rather than you do have to look at, well, that dice is a 5. It's going to blow if it goes up again. We need to get to that room, probably. But not just like you can think early on that I've got all of the dice down to 1s. We're doing really well, and then you draw a card that increases all of the 1s. They're not all in danger, but you just increased every room because you'd put it on the same number. You have to kind of think in a bit of a different way sometimes to stagger the numbers a bit so that they don't all get increased in one great big go. And the powder kegs, although we weren't in as much danger. I did a better job at handling the fire, based on my character really, and the combination of things that I had. We did a better job at handling the fire, so we didn't get to see powder kegs as much. They will explode through the doorway that they're facing through, and increase your number of explosions. You've only got a certain number until you lose the game, and increase the dice in that number, so it's more likely to have a chain reaction effect, especially if you put the powder kegs in a big chain, which sometimes you have to do, depending on how those tiles come out. Sometimes you have to do that. And you can get another exit as well. Once you've put all of the tiles out, you can get another exit off the ship, which is another way of getting the tokens off, as well as the main entrance, which can end up, the rooms, and once they get to 6 and explode, bad stuff happens, and that token increases along the track, but the room is no longer usable. So that can happen. Like in our reminder game the other day, Rach was the designated treasure getter, and we just got, we only needed 2 more treasures, similar to this actually. We only needed 2 more treasures. They were all in one section of the ship. We were not far off it. I was kind of increasing my battle strength to, okay, I might get one. But then we hadn't been paying enough attention that they were kind of in a little wing of the ship. The 2 tiles that led to where the treasure corridor, both had 5 dice, and we drew a card that increased 5s. Both of them exploded, and basically that corridor fell off the ship, and we lost because, that pirate had no way of getting back, and the treasure was lost. And if there are 6 treasures in the game, if you lose, more than you could ever accomplish your goal with, then it's over. It leads to some really funny situations that really fit the theme. It's a really nice theme for a co-op, and it does feel like this doomed ship that we are just desperately trying to keep whatever bits of it we can afloat to get out with this treasure if we can. But the playthrough's there though, so you can take a look and see if it will be a game for you. But thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.